obviously we knew what kind of challenge we were facing on the road. Jacksonville State, give them their coaches and their program and their players credit. They're good. Their defense is very good. And so anytime you punt 11 times, I mean, that's an obvious statement. So, thought we did some things well in the game. Held them scoreless in the third quarter. I thought our defense was fighting. I thought our defense was physical, held on as long as they could. I really did. I mean, scored on defense. That was a positive. It was 21-7. The defense is fighting, getting some stops, scoreless in the third quarter, and you get to the fourth quarter, still 21-7. We've been pretty good on offense. Thank you. We've been pretty good on offense all year, but we couldn't block them, couldn't get open. They're very good. So, come back this week, short week. Got another conference game. I think Tennessee Tech and us are very similar, except they found a way to win an overtime game last week against Murray. So, so they've got to win underneath their belt in conference. We went on the road. I don't think we beat them the last two times they've been here. I think we've lost. I think we've split with them the last two times on the road and then lost the last two times here. So that's something we need to make amends for. Talking a little bit more about them, they are, they scored 27 points last week on offense. I mean, I know they've struggled a little bit offensively, but they found enough to win. Special teams, this kind of team football. I've watched their defense on tape. A lot of zone pressures. They mix it up very well. Play hard. I think it's a very even football game.
I know you mentioned in the video to the Jacksonville State game you're unhappy with the offense. How much of it, though, was just things that Jacksonville State presented with their defense versus just your own offense not getting the job done? How much was it?
It's hard to put that on percentage, but most of it. I mean, they got a great defensive front. You just couldn't get them blocked, and when you did get them blocked, didn't get open. And when you did get them blocked and you did get open, you didn't complete the pass. So that's how offense goes. You got to get yourself a little bit of rhythm, get some first downs, and but they're good. They're good top to bottom, and they'll continue to win football games. And they're up front. Those guys are hard. Those guys are hard to move. Linebackers are fast. There were some self-inflicted things that we did, but I bet it was, in my opinion, 3 out of every 4 plays. I just thought they beat us at the point of attack.
Do you see a need to make many offensive tweaks or anything like that going forward?
It's up to this point, right? You put up good statistics or whatever that's worth, So, but you have to believe in that. You have to go back. I mean, the first instinct is look at the tape and say, oh my goodness, we're just not very good on offense and stuff. And after that game, you certainly don't feel like it. But you got to get your confidence back. You got to figure out a way to be balanced again and make a few plays. And we got to build off what our defense did this week. Now, by no means am I saying give up almost 500 yards is something to pat ourselves on the back about. But I did see some improvement. I really did.
How do you balance the need to sort of tweak or adjust or whatever you have to do with the fact that you do have a short week? I mean, do you have to kind of prioritize one or the other?
Yeah, you do. You can't reinvent yourself, in a 2-day practice circuit. You get back at, 2:30 a.m. on Saturday morning, and then yesterday you're trying to practice hard to get a whole lot in. You're trying to get some base looks. You're going to have some tweaks. Both sides will, but you can't. You can't wholesale. You can take a second team starter and maybe bump him up, get him ready, but you can't take a guy and move him to another position and say, okay, this is what we're going to do this week. It's just a short week. Or, say, hey, we're going to be all option this week, because we're looking for answers. No, you can't do that.
We talked about, at least before this week, you have had pretty high completion percentage. The passing offense has been pretty good.
Yeah.
As far as like the rushing though, you would wanted him to be 1,000-yard back at the start of the year. He's not on pace to do that. Anything in particular looking for him or the line to make that happen?
I think this week will be a good test for that. What I mean by that is you've had one game to where you didn't block. I mean, we blocked our first opponent better than we did, last week. And that may say something about the caliber of Jacksonville State's, front seven. I'm not disappointed in Luke. I think there's some other backs that have stepped up and done some other things, and we keep trying to get them involved. And I think that's been one of our strengths for the most part, is multiple formation, playing a lot of different people. But right now we're searching for wins, and I don't care if one back gets 30 carries if that's what it takes to win. But you got to earn those 30 carries. You got to make somebody miss at the second level. You got to take care of the football. You got to earn those right to carry the football, and not just because we want to keep feeding it to the tailback.
You're going to go with 2 quarterbacks in again this week?
Yeah, I mean, neither one of them played well this past week. They did. Like I said, we missed a couple throws, but there wasn't a whole lot of help. It wasn't just, I don't think anybody probably graded the winner on that offensive unit this week.
Can you talk a little more? Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Can you, just tell us a little more specifically what you saw defensively that you did like, at least in spots.
I saw Cleet Hagan's the backup safety, redshirt freshman safety, play a lot, make 10 tackles. Because Taino Perez got banged up and had to come out. So, it's good to see a backup safety. Not that you want your safety making 10 tackles, but, in our defense, that safety has to make a lot of tackles. So that was encouraging. We probably rotated, 9 defensive linemen, 8 to 9 defensive linemen. And so there wasn't that huge of a drop-off from that first unit to that second unit. Once again, I'm looking at that third quarter. We held them scoreless, and we scored, in the first half on defense. So, those things were encouraging to see. Once again, we gave up, two big balls, okay? And that's, we're right there to make the play. Jordan Landry is right there on the post. And as a matter of fact, the ball gets pinned on the wide receiver's shoulder, and we actually crossed the face of the wide receiver in the post, and we missed it somehow. And that's a 50-yarder or whatever it was, and then he hit us on another one. We got tripping on a little skinny post against cover 3. I don't know how many touchdown passes we've given up, too many, but I still saw some improvement. I really did.
As far as Tennessee Tech goes, that Stone quarterback who's been there for a while, I know he's not, necessarily passing a whole bunch, but how much of a threat do you think he might be just playing time?
I think he's a good player. I mean, I know 2 years ago we're playing for the conference championship, and all we had to do was win the last 2 games, and we split them and we lost in overtime to Tech. And I mean, he beat us. He had 200 something yards, total offense, and running the football and throwing. I thought, remember recruiting him out of high school. He's a very good player.
What have you seen on film from the rest of their offense? I know, like you mentioned, they've had some struggle a bit, but anything that has stood out to you as being something positive that they've done?
They're like us. I mean, they're trying to find their way, doing some multiple things, and 1 back and 2 back, and Coach Brown, there's nothing he hasn't coached before schematically, whether it's sprint draw or no back or whatever. I mean, he's coached it all, and that's, to me, that's a sign of a good coach. He's taking what he's got healthy and what he's got on his roster, and he's trying to find a way to win some football games, and we're doing the same thing. So, you'll see them be very multiple this week, and do what they can to move the football and score points, and we'll do the same thing.
We've kind of talked about this a couple of times, but just sort of the mentality of your team. What did you sort of sense after the Jacksonville State game?
It's good. I mean, that sounds silly to say when you're sitting here at 1-5, because we certainly didn't think we could sit here at 1-5. But EKU, what are they, 3-0 now in the league, or 5-0 overall? Jacksonville State, top 5 team in the country. Kentucky. All right, so there's 3 tough games, and then the games we dropped that we had a chance to win. Central Arkansas, that's been well documented, and Southeast Missouri. So you're sitting here and you say you could be 3-3 at this point, still chase, but we've obviously had to adjust our goals. I mean, when we understand the math of that, we're just trying to get the winning season, win more than we lose. Get better. Get this football team better. We've got some holes in it, and you got to recruit to fill those holes and make some adjustments throughout your program. But I think our mindset's good. I thought our practice was good. Last night, guys are still playing hard. These seniors, this group of seniors, right, has won 7 games in 8 games. So they've been, I won't say the highest of the high, right, but they've been a very competitive, you know, they've done this university proud, and right now things aren't going their way, and you know, we kind of talked last night about, you know, you get to find out a lot about yourself when you're going through a tough stretch in anything, not just in football, but in, you know, life in general. You know, you find out about yourself as a coach. You know, you know, how you handle disappointment, how you handle, you know, when a guy drops a ball and he's giving you your best effort and stuff, and the kids are the same way. How will their frustration be toward each other? And there's natural things that come up, you know, frustration that they can bleed out. But I thought for the most part they handled it well.
Anything else? Thanks,
Good.
Coach.
Appreciate you guys.